Hello and welcome, folks. If you are among 59 million people who are still looking for a house in this market, this video is for you. This video has a checklist of everything that you must know, you must do before you start to go looking for a house. And that list is displayed here. Folks, you need to know the market conditions. You need to know your leverage. You need to have a plan to assess your savings and then go and find a viable agent and then go look for a property. In that order, if you miss any of these steps, you're definitely going to make a mistake, especially as a first-time home buyer. So let's get into it. The economy is about to go into a recession, and here's Elon Musk stating the obvious.
We will have a recession. I think it will be a relatively mild recession. I don't know, 18 months or something like that.
The question you must ask yourself, is this the right time to jump into this market? Because the market is very volatile. Prices are dropping in some cities and prices are rising in the others across different regions. So what that means in simple words is that your property that you're buying today may depreciate in value. The price may drop. It may take a dip. It may come back long term. But are you okay with that? For example, cities like San Francisco, Austin, Texas, Dallas, Texas, Las Vegas, Nevada, and many other cities are seeing a decline in pricing. So if you're buying, you really won't know, are you buying it at the lowest dip or the mid of it? Point to be noted. So if you're not okay with that, then you need to look in a different area. And that's what I mean by knowing the market conditions. The second most important thing before you go look for a house is to know your leverage. Know how much income you make and what are your expenses. How much down payment can you do from your savings? For example, if you make $80,000, let's just say for example, then you're slightly above the median average income of the households in America. Now the median price of the house is around $371,000, roughly give and take. So let's say given the interest rates being 7.67%, you want to put down $50,000, let's just say for example, on this house. Your insurance is about $1,000. Your HOA fees, let's say $50 a month. Your taxes, let's say $4,000 annual. Your monthly payment will be $2,770 per month. If you're making $80,000, then your mortgage payment would become 40% of your take-home pay. And that's not advisable. Your monthly payment should not exceed over 30%. Anything over 30% puts you in a risk of default. But you make the judgment, not me. So in effect, if you make $80,000 roughly, you can barely afford a median or lower median price house in this economy because the rates are so high. So the affordability factor has gone down, if that makes sense. Now that's just an example. You can customize it any way you want according to your income, your expenses. I will drop a link to the Google calculator down below. Once you do all of that, it's time to run your credit. It's always good to know where you stand. Do you have an average score? Do you have an above average score? Above average score is over 720 or over 700. That's a really good score. Okay, anything below 690 is not such a good score. Once you understand your credit positioning and where you land in the credit bracket, then you can go and shop around, talk to some local banks. I would recommend talk to some local, smaller banks that can give you biggest bang for a buck, that are willing to make a deal with you to give you a loan. You can also go online. Lendingtree.com, for example, is a good website where you can go and assess some interest rates because I think they have a model where 3 or 4 different banks will bid for your loan. So that's an option as well. So now once you do that and you like a bank, you want to get pre-approved. Okay, this is all before you go start looking for a house or find a realtor and all that. Okay, next up is to come up with a plan. What does a plan mean? You need to know exactly which city, which town, which zip code you want to live in, where the schools are the best, where there's a shopping center. If you like to go and have a coffee in the morning and you want it to be in a walkable distance, if you need a park near your house, hair cuttery, salon, baby daycare, whatever your needs are, whatever you do on a weekly, daily basis, this area should meet all of your needs and then more. The best place to look for these things is Trulia, Zillow, Redfin, Open Door, many other websites that give you a good idea of what the average median price is in these areas. So once you have that, if the areas you're interested in are nearby, you can always go there, drive down there. There's nothing like seeing the property in front of your eyes. So I would do that. Get to know the neighborhood, see the traffic, go at the different times before you even go and bid for a house or look for a house. You can even call your city or your county to find out if there are any plans to build something new in the future, like a bridge, a school, and vice versa. Just to make sure the place you're moving to does not have anything that you don't like. And also, is there a growth potential to the property in the area where you're buying it? Now, the next one is to assess your savings. And you should have at least 6 months of saving saved up in the bank account, including okay? Your monthly payments, your P&I, your taxes, okay? Your medical, dental, health, anything else, groceries, everything 6 months. So in case you lose a job, because the recession is coming, it's inevitable, folks. You want to make sure you have a job, you have a solid job. If you don't have a job, maybe your spouse or someone else has a job that can cover you for at least 6 to 9 months. Preferably for me, it's 9 months, but some people are aggressive. They do 5 to 6 months. Once you have done all of this, and there's some more steps that you could take, do your own research first, folks. Don't just go and find a realtor and start buying houses. So now it's the time to start researching for a realtor. Not just get a realtor, not just talk to your neighbor, Jack and Jill or whomever, to recommend a realtor for you. You can take recommendations, but go and research a realtor. Find out who's the top producer in this area. How much do they charge? Have they sold houses in the neighborhood you're interested in? And also take 3 references, at least 3 references, and call those references. Ask them, how was it to deal with this person? Were they friendly? Were they cordial? Were they flexible? Did they get you a good deal? Because ultimately it's a business transaction. So after doing all of this, now you're ready to shop, because now you're an informed consumer. You know the market, you know your savings, you know how much you approve for, you know how much you can afford and you can put down. So now you can go look for a house. Now you team up with this realtor and start looking for houses, and make sure they send you a weekly list of properties that you can see. Keep this person engaged with you. If you see this person disengaging, you need to then fire them and find someone better. Hopefully, if you found the right realtor, if you've done the right research, you know which city you want to move in, you will be able to find a good house, even in this economy, folks. It may cost you a little bit more. The prices may go down a little bit, as I mentioned, but ultimately you should be able to find something decent. I would personally recommend, if you're a first-time buyer, go with a fixer-upper. I'm a big fan of fixer-upper because it creates equity, and when your prices dip, if you buy in any of these areas that I've mentioned before, at least you'll have some padding there. Okay. Now my last tip to you is, do not include emotions in a purchase. And I know you've heard this before, but hear me out again, okay? Once you get emotional, and we've all been there, by the way, you know, you like a house, you love it, and you start like thinking about, how can I increase my budget to afford this house? This is not the house we were looking for, but it's more expensive than what we want. And now we want to go and buy this house. So don't do that, because if you do that, you really shoot yourself in the foot. Buying a house with emotions can always lead to some bad decisions. You don't want to make that bad decision. You want to look at the property in terms of locality, as I mentioned, a hospital nearby, grocery store nearby, all your necessities nearby, major highway, preferably a shopping center nearby. All those things have to be there. It doesn't matter how beautiful the house is, because guess what? You can make that house beautiful after you move in. You can upgrade the floors, you can change the roof, you can change the door color, you can have new landscaping and all this and that. All that stuff that as a new buyer that you worry about, you can do it yourself, and you can do it better and according to your taste. So I hope these tips were helpful, folks. If you did, please show me some love by dropping a like or a comment, or even subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye now.